Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. Today I'm going to be covering the new Tier 10 German light cruiser, the Bremen. I know I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, but I'm not so sure how to pronounce it correctly. But anyway, this is the new Tier 10, and it reminds me a lot of the Mines. Now, I've been wanting a Tier 10 Mines probably since Mines came out, actually, in which we had a Mines, we would have a Mines at Tier 10 with literally just a heal or something. But Wargaming went over the top here and they gave us more firepower, so that's really nice. But let's start off this review. So I'm going to structure this review as I used to with the older reviews, in which I'll cover the armor layout, chip characteristics, build at the start here, and then I'll showcase two games in the Bremen that I've played in the past few days, and then, well, that's kind of it, I guess. That's the video. But anyway, so, for my commander build for the Bremen here, we've got Gunther Lugens. We're running Grease the Gears, Gunfeeder, Eye in the Sky, Superintendent, Survivability Expert, right? Yeah, Concealment Expert, Adrenaline Rush, and Top Grade Gunner. For my equipment, I'm running Main Battery Mod 3, Concealment System Mod 1, Prop Mod 1, Aiming System Mod 1, Hydro Search Mod 1, and Main Armaments Mod 1. For the armor layout for this cruiser, we've got 25mm nose armor, 30mm deck armor, 30 side, and 25 aft armor. Quite light cruiser armor, but actually we have that 30mm deck and side, which isn't really super, or it's not really normally used to being on light cruisers. Reminds me something of, for example, like Hindenburg, actually. But that is the armor layout. Your citadel does sit below the water or like just above the water slightly. It is turtle back. I don't know if it's above the water, maybe slightly. But there it is. For the ship characteristics, we've got 59,050 HP, which actually thinking about it, is it? No way. It's the same HP pool as a Hindenburg, actually, I just realized. It actually has 16% torpedo protection damage reduction, which is actually more than Hindenburg. For main guns, we've got 16, by the way, 150mm guns with a 4.7 second reload. Very easy to aim guns too. The shells are quite easy to land. Consistent damage per salvo, you'll see this in the game. 18.1 kilometer range plus spotter plane. This ship is immense, actually. It's pretty incredible firepower wise. We also have pretty decent AP. But the HE, we have a solid 9%, well, 9% fire chance with 16 guns is all right. 4.7 second reload again. 38mm of pen because we have German light cruiser HE. The alpha is slightly lower, but we've got that improved HE penetration. And we got pretty solid AP so for those big chunks when we land those big salvos. Especially on broadside, for example, battleships. Torpedoes, we've got actually, well, 20 looks like 4 times 5 20 torps, 10 per side, 12-kilometer range. They only go 50 knots, but 12-kilometer range, definitely usable torpedoes. For maneuverability, we go 34.1 knots, 840-meter turning circle radius, and 11.6 second rudder shift time. For the concealment here, we've got 13.1 detection. So not that good for a light cruiser, but for a ship of its DPM levels, it's pretty good overall. So those are the ship characteristics. For the camouflage available for the Bremen, we've got this style here, this two-tone, looks like German camouflage. To me, looks really nice. It says Bremen on the back here, as you can see. We've also got an alternate, which is like a blue variant of it, but I actually prefer the stock one. So we'll definitely be using that. And for those of you guys who are wondering, this is what the steel camo looks like on the Bremen. Yeah, pretty cool. Before we go into the game, the price of the Bremen, if we click the armory to take a look, this is where you need to buy the Bremen if you're going to choose to purchase it. You're going to click armory, you're going to go into Steel Fleet here, and you're going to see the Bremen over here. And that is the ship there. And this is the Hawaii. These are the both ships that I actually personally got myself. I actually really enjoy both of them. So far, my highest damage games, both of them, are in Hawaii, which I will feature next week. So hopefully I will feature them and stay tuned for those. They're really good. They're very high 300k games, both of them. So definitely take a look at that video in the future. I already have my Hawaii review out though. without those 300k games. I'll post it next week for the actual games. Well, I have games in the review, guys, but they're just not the 300s. Anyway, Bremen today, overall pretty good. Let's go take a look at the actual matches. So here we are in the first game in the Bremen. We are playing on Sleeping Giant, of course, here, as you can see. So, the Bremen. The hull, personally, by the way, I'm not sure if you agree. I'm sure you agree. Probably. At least the look of it reminds me a lot of something like Clausewitz. Maybe that's why it has 59,000 HP, potentially. It does get a lot of HP. Not as much as Clausewitz at tier 11. This is a light cruiser, however. Clausewitz is a heavy cruiser. A super ship heavy cruiser at tier 11. Anyway, as you can see, these shells, even though I'm missing, guys, I'm still getting used to the game here. The shells are overall very easy to use, especially for light cruiser guns of 150mm caliber guns. The fire chance combined with the actual amount of shells you're shooting is incredible. You're able to set a lot of fires with this ship overall. And I've had games where I'm, maybe not this one, but even non-arms race games, which, well, next game will be a non-arms race game, where I've had literally like 200k in, sorry, 100k in 5 minutes. Obviously, that's pretty simple. But for example, I got a arsonist last stream, I think yesterday, in literally, I think 3 minutes. And 3 minutes into the game, like now it would have been arsonist, you know, already. And it was actually on Sleeping Giant too, on a GK, funnily enough. But 3 minutes to get an arsonist since the start of the game is kind of incredible. And the ship can do that pretty, not easily, I would say, not all the time, but it can farm incredible amounts of damage given the right situations. And as long as you're kind of just playing pre-kited, as long as you're not turbo pushing it in, you should be having a pretty good and easy time with this ship. And this ship, yeah, not really a pushing ship. Again, okay, you have 30mm armor on the deck and sides. You have 25mm nose armor. Okay, well, it's not that good, actually. But for a light cruiser, it's pretty good. That doesn't mean you should push in, of course not. You can still get hurt pretty hard, especially against ships that overmatch you. You're 25, you're 30. You're still a light cruiser at the end of the day, so you're not going to be expected to just run it down and get smashing hits. What's nice with this ship is you get 9k HP heals, which is huge. Unfortunately, you do only get 4 heals, unlike Hindenburg's 5, I believe. However, it still survives quite a lot. You do not need that 5th heal. The ship does live quite a lot. Given it's a pre-kiter, right? You should be able to do pretty well in it pretty easily. And as you can see, we're already on 92,000 damage here. Now, I understand this is an arms race game, guys, but it was a good game that I really wanted to showcase for you guys anyway. And next game will also be a pretty good game. Be it not as good as this one, but it is not an arms race game. So, by the way, what do you think of me featuring 2 games in these videos? Is it good? Is it interesting? Maybe, maybe not. We're up to already almost 100,000 damage in 5 minutes, which is really nice. Also, I'm running Lugens. As you can see, if I get 140 shell hits, I instantly get that little reload buff from Lugens, 8% or something. So it's gonna help us out quite a lot. It helps us get more damage, well, more easily, right? And that's what we want. We need more damage more easily. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, guys, please, I would greatly appreciate a sub to the channel and maybe even a like or a share to the video if you end up enjoying it. It would help me out a lot, of course, and I do appreciate it a lot. So thank you so much for those of you who already chose to subscribe, but for those of you who aren't subscribed, I would greatly appreciate it a lot. But anyway, we're up to 126,000 damage at this point in the Bremen. Now, in terms of playstyle with the ship, overall just pre-kited. You can sit, I wouldn't say you can sit at close ranges, but against, for example, these tier 9s, you can kind of just play around them pretty easily. But sometimes you are going to just need to play a bit further away, either be it because they're shooting at you a lot, for example, if a lot of ships are focusing you, or maybe, I don't know, there's big threats on the enemy team that are going to create crossfires. You just need to be using that gun range, and you can use that gun range because the shells are really easy to aim overall. Quite fast shells, I think 960 meter per second shells maybe, yep. Really easy to use. I mean, I say this a lot, but they are pretty easy to use. And you saw that Lucian pop up, and we kind of just smashed him a bit. We didn't kill him, unfortunately, but we did smash him a little bit. Already on 420 shell hits. Not really too much damage so far, but we are progressing. You can see the enemy team has turbo buffs already, so we need to keep that in mind. The fact that their team has a lot of buffs. We need to play a bit more conservatively, potentially, and just try to retain our HP pool. Especially given the fact that, well, the team ships count is quite similar. We get 2 torpedoes there, by the way, on the north. That's where those 12 km torps come in handy. You launch them, you forget about them, and you might literally just land some torps there, for example, and you get some damage for free, which is really nice. You see, now we're instantly up to 171,000 damage, because we just chunked that Njord with those torps. We chunked the Marco Polo with that AP. Overall, pretty easy time. And we only have the reload buff in this arms race. I understand. I mean, it is a reload buff at the end of the day. But, you know, it's only that so far. We are going to get more buffs, hopefully. Any second now, hopefully, we'll see. But this ship, non-arms race, arms race, is incredible. To me, I've always wanted a tier 10 mines. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to give it 16 guns, guys. I was kind of just expecting mines maybe with slightly better reload with its 12 guns at tier 10, maybe with a heal. Even with the light armor it has, potentially. But, I mean, I almost think they kind of went a bit over the top with this one. This one is good. This one is really good. 16 guns, 4.7 second reload, 18 kilometer range, spotter plane. Heal, of course. I mean, it is a tier 10 cruiser at the end of the day. Without heal, it would have been not that good. But the guns, the fast reload, you know, it's incredible. You know, it is. It is truly incredible. And you know me, my most played ship on my account, guys, is Hindenburg, right? So how could I not enjoy a tier 10 mines? It's like, and really, really can like fight with Hindenburgs. I mean, Hindenburg reloads every 8 seconds. Also, look at these torps I launched on this Uchakov, guys. I'm gonna kill him. Check this out. Those are accidentally aimed at him. I mean, I tried to aim for the Monmouth pushing, even though he's beached. Unfortunately, I aimed them fully at the Uchakov by accident. Please don't blame me, guys, and don't get mad. I said sorry in chat, which should cover us in terms of losing karma there. But yeah, no, but I love German cruisers, guys. They're amazing. So having one, I mean, I've wanted one of these for a very long time. And at the end of the day, it's not like incredibly gimmicky. I mean, it does have incredible DPM. And it does have improved HE pen. And it does have really fast reload. And it, you know, it has a 6 km hydro, of course. And it has 12 km torps. You know, it has a lot of things going for it. But it doesn't have smoke, you know. You do have to kind of sit, not in the open, but you kind of have to, like, not have to do anything, actually. It's just, it's really easy to play for me. I don't know. I'm sure you guys are going to find it relatively easy to play. And a lot of you are wondering, which one should you get, Hawaii or Bremen? And for damage farming, consistent damage farming every game, or at least easy damage farming, it would be Bremen. Now, that being said, though, if you're less experienced at the game and you really don't know how to open water and you really don't know how to play ships like Hindenburg or mines, are you going to have an easy time with this one? Probably not the easiest time, especially if you don't know how to play those ships already. However, if you kind of know how to play those ships, you're going to have an extremely easy time to play. But you have to just not push in too fast. Now, you see me pushing in a bit here. Even against destroyers, we're eating quite a lot of damage. But again, not incredible amounts of damage, but still we eat damage. So imagine it being a battleship or something. You're gonna get hit pretty hard. That being said, though, in terms of which one to pick, Hawaii or Bremen, both of them are incredibly fun to play. Bremen, again, is probably better for consistent damage farming, but the Hawaii can be more fun sometimes, just based on how funny it can be. And keep in mind, I already posted my review on that one. However, I will be posting some incredible games I've had in the Hawaii, and the ship can be pretty incredible given the right circumstances. But that's game. For personal score, we ended up doing 301,786 damage. We touched 300,000, 4 kills, 1 assisted in destruction, 8 incapacitations, 9 fires, 1 flooded ribbon, 1 spotting ribbon, 776 shell hits, 2 torp hits, 25 secondary hits, and a buff. Confederate, Dreadnought, and High Caliber for achievements there. I believe it wasn't an E, or maybe it was actually. It was an E. 3k base XP, 3.1k base XP. Huge game in the Bremen there. Armed race, sure, but definitely an impressive match nonetheless. Detailed report, we got 76k on that Njord, 75k on that Taihang, 29k on the Lucian, 12k on the Yugmo, 43k on the Monmouth, 35k on the Shikishima, 24k on the Marco Polo, and only 5,000 on that super battleship, the main. 154,000 from HE there. Only 23k from fires, quite a rare low fire damage match, but 97k from AP, and we also had 18k from torp hits. 71k damage received, and 4 credits and XP, we got this. Here we are in the second game in the Bremen. You're going to see some mistakes in this match if you're going to watch the whole match. I will make some mistakes, guys, but it's normal. Especially since it's a new ship, right? We're going to be bound to make some mistakes. Unfortunately, I must say this is a low destroyer match. As you can see, only 1 destroyer this match, which means we're not really going to get much capping potential. You have to understand with a ship like this, it's very damage farm oriented. Whilst you can play a bit of utility, given that you have hydro. If you're well, given a match like this where you have no radar, right, and there's no destroyers, and there's really nothing you can do to pressure the enemy team to push them away. Now, the only thing you can kind of do is damage them, right? But in terms of like pushing them out of a cap, for example, it's gonna take time because you don't have someone pushing in front of you, maybe screening the enemy DDs. Now, in this case, there's no DDs, sure, but there are ships that are just going to be unspotted pretty much the whole game, almost. Namely, this GK is going to be unspotted for a very long time, and he's going to get into positions where, well, unfortunately, I mean, he's allowed to do it because we're not able to spot things. And restricted spotting here is going to create problems for me personally, because we're not going to be able to dish out that quick damage as fast as physically possible. Not fast enough to a point where we can actually just completely just shred down their team fast enough, you know? And also, the fact that you can't actually get quick damage on people, or not really that, the fact that you don't have consistent spotting here in this case means ships that you're farming down really fast have the ability of going dark. And when they go dark, you know, they can heal back their HP, maybe not fully, but if you're farming them with HE, you're getting fire damage on their angled superstructure, for example, this GK, and he's able to go dark. He can pick the engagements, which means you're not going to be able to kill him as fast as, for example, if a destroyer was screening you. So in this case, I would say having limited destroyers in the match does give us a pretty bad disadvantage. I mean, to be fair, the enemy team also has a lack of destroyers. However, we don't really get to pick the times we go dark as much. Mainly for the reason that we are trying to shoot the whole time. We're trying to get that damage out as much as possible. Now, you could say, well, isn't GK also? But GK shoots every 30 seconds, which means he has 10 seconds of deciding to go dark whenever he wants, and then he can choose to stay dark for that entire time. Whereas for us, well, we have to kind of just keep shooting. Now, as you can see, we're already getting smashed. We lost 2 ships there instantly. We did get Lugians a bit late, as you can see this game, 5 minutes in. That's quite late in a ship like this, guys. You should be getting it pretty fast, to be honest. Especially since you have 16 shells shooting every 4 or 5 seconds. But yeah. Now again, as I was talking about last match in terms of which one to pick between Hawaii and Bremen, if you really can only pick one, it is really gonna be up to you. Your personal playstyle. I know there's ships like the Valparaiso available. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that one. I have 60,000 steel available right now, but I'm not sure if I should get it. I know it's really strong, but I almost feel as if... I'm a bit scared, because I almost feel as if I'm just not going to actually play it that much, even though it's really good. But between the Bremen and Hawaii, just focusing on those two, which one I would play more... I don't know, actually. I've been having extreme fun with both of them. So it's really hard for me to pick as well. But, I mean, Hawaii is more unique at the end of the day. So if you really want something more unique, still quite challenging to play the Hawaii. Probably a bit more challenging than this one. Funnily enough, even though it has an Alaska hull. It is a bit challenging. Even though sometimes it can be a bit easy. Just depends on the matches. The Bremen, I don't know. For damage, right? For damage. You are also going to have limited team play oriented roles here. You do have big damage farm potential with the Bremen, sure. But the fact that you don't have radar is going to limit you a bit. Whilst Hawaii, even though it does get radar, it's only 8.5 kilometer radar. So it really shouldn't be weighted that highly when compared to something like Bremen. As Bremen, I mean, it just doesn't have that, you know? But as you can see, free damage farm so far. Unfortunately, we're getting absolutely dominated on the map. Even though this match is probably going to end up being a loss, I still wanted to feature it. One being the fact that it was still a decent damage game. However, I mean, I think it's okay to feature losses sometimes too. You know, sometimes we get losses. And in this case, I wouldn't say it's specifically because I played really bad. I mean, realistically, there's not much I can do here except to be pre-kited against all these battleships. There's a Libertad, Montana, GK, and there was a Vermont you saw running it down. There's also a Worcester there pre-kited, and there's also the Armour Layout. There's a lot of ships that can really hurt us. So I wouldn't say it's down to me just playing badly here. It's more like, I would say, one, it's a no destroyer match, and well, a lot of our teammates did die already. 5 of them are dead. We only traded 1 for that, but that being said, you can always play the match better, guys. So in this case, definitely maybe I could have played it better by angling a bit better to the GK, minimizing damage intake, trying our best to get more damage with minimizing damage intake, like I said. So far, I've played this ship, I don't know, I think 11 games? So quite a fair amount. Now, I will be playing it more on stream, so make sure to follow my Twitch channel in the description of the video. Link is going to be available there for you guys. I'll be streaming, probably not on the weekends though, but during the week probably I'll be streaming, so make sure to stop by and say hello. And request me to play either the Bremen or the Hawaii, so I'll be playing them for you guys. Yeah. I played this quite 11 games, I think. Average damage, 205,000. 11 games. This is expected to go down over time. The reason it's probably so high is the fact that it is, one, a new ship. Less people are inclined, or less people understand maybe how to deal with it. So, you know, even though it's a new ship, people tend to shoot you more. Maybe they shoot you in the wrong sections, or they're not really sure where to shoot you in general. Or maybe they just missed you, you know? And yeah, I've had some really good games, but I do expect the average damage to go down, at least from my end, of course. Now, my average damage in the mines actually is, I believe, 150,000. So I really love these types of ships, you know? They're really, to me, they're incredible. To me, I really just enjoy, one, the DPM, the fires, but also the improved HE penetration that it gives you, because you can deal with battleships a bit better than, for example, other light cruisers who maybe, even though they have higher fire chance or higher alpha damage, they don't have the actual ability to pen. So you're kind of aiming for superstructures on those other ships, and maybe you have more DPM on those other ships, but effective DPM is actually less than these, or I wouldn't say less than these, but you do have to be very specific with your aim points on those specific armor values. You know, you have to go for the superstructure normally, especially if you don't have the full pen, for example, something like Smolensk. Or you're just going to play for fires. In this case, you can play for fires and pens. You're going to get a lot of both. You see me getting a lot of non-pens here because I am fighting a GK at the end of the day. So realistically, I mean, we're not going to be getting huge pens because he's not covered in 32mm armor. But you can see these fires coming in. Double fire there, huge. To 178,000 damage here. Trying to farm as much as physically possible. Trying to keep the game going. I mean, we should have lost quite a while ago. As you can see, 6 ships down to 3 ships killed. And look how quickly this damage racks up. You know, especially when a GK just pushes into you. The damage does start ticking really fast, you know, with fires. And we get a Witherer there. Overall, pretty good. I understand this is a giga loss, but I don't know. I still enjoy featuring any game I get realistically. So I'm happy with this one, regardless. But again, I've gotten a lot of 200k games already, and hopefully I get some more 300k games, because I only got one in the Bremen. I've gotten two in the Hawaii so far, and they were not low 300s in the Hawaii, they were high 300s. Which again, I will feature in an upcoming video for next week. The next review, by the way, for context, will be... Look at this AP, by the way. Actually, am I going to show it? Probably not. Oh! Yeah, only 4k. But we got some on this GK. The next video will probably be a Nuremberg 44 review, by the way, which will be coming out probably in 2 days, maybe. So hopefully very soon. So stay tuned for that one. Quite a fun one, that one as well, which is available in the event pass, that one. GK dies to my armor piercing salvos. We go for the AP on the Worcester. Unfortunately, I'm caught bow in at this point. Really not much I can do. Worcester just does get one shot though. In this case, I actually believe I could have gotten a lot more damage, but unfortunately, again, we have no points this match. We really have no points left. We're at 990 points, while the enemy team is at 990 points. We lost the game quite fast in this case. I mean, 13 minutes is not fast, but 257k damage in 13 minutes is actually not too bad regardless. But that's game. For personal score, we ended up doing 264,488 damage, 2 kills, 2 assisted in destruction, 15 fires, 1 spotted ribbon, 793 shell hits, 1 secondary hit, 5 planes shot down and assisted in cap. And we got Dreadnought and Witherer. Unfortunately, I don't have pictures for the rest. But yeah, pretty good game in general, even though it was a loss. For my commander build, once again, a Gunther Lugens, Gunfeeder, Grease the Gears, Eye in the Sky, Superintendent, Survivability Expert, Concealment Expert, Adrenaline Rush, and Top Grade Gunner. For me, I go for a full concealment build. For equipment, main battery mod 3, concealment system mod 1, prop mod 1, aiming system mod 1, hydro search mod 1, and main armaments mod 1. And that's pretty much it for my Bremen review, guys. Now, what do I think of the Bremen? A great, consistent damage farmer. Quite easy to play overall. Maybe if you're less experienced at the game and you really don't know how to open water and you're just going to sit for broadside, probably. Maybe not, but if you do, then you're probably going to get smashed. If you kind of know how to play Hindenburg and Mines, you should have a very easy time playing this one, to be fair. Now, in terms of which one to get between this or Hawaii, if you had to pick one, it's really up to you. They're both very different in their own way. Now, I have both reviews out on my channel, and I'm sure there's other CCs, or, well, I'm not a CC, but there's other CCs, such as PQ, for example. Already covered these ships a week ago, so I'm sure you already made your decisions, but hopefully you enjoyed my thoughts on it. I do really enjoy it. Of course, I love German cruisers. Between this and Hawaii, if I were to rate them, I mean, this one is really good for damage farming. Definitely. Probably the better of the two for damage farming. Consistently, at least. But in terms of which one's more unique, probably the actual Hawaii. But if I had to only get one myself, I really can't pick, actually. I really don't know. Probably Bremen, because I really like German cruisers. But Hawaii, again, is awesome. And stay tuned for next week's video on that one, where I'll be covering it for those two games that I had, 2 300k games, which I had. And also, stay tuned for this week. I'll be covering Nuremberg 44. But that's pretty much it for this Bremen review. I definitely enjoy it. And if you have enough steel, definitely recommend you get it. It's very good. But that is it for this video. And I'll see you in the next one. If you did enjoy, please leave a sub to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it a lot. And maybe even a like or share the video. And maybe even just follow my Twitch channel in the description of this video. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. And big fan.